Hi everyone, thanks for watching. I have a topic this week that's not a particular question from one person, but a question that I've been asked over time again and again from people who know me. And the question is basically, how do you discipline yourself to save? How did you and your husband save to buy your house cash? So I know that's not kind of a unique thing, but no matter what your goal is for saving, whether it's retirement, a house, vacation, etc., just want to talk about kind of the approach that we take and the mindset that we use. So a big thing, mindset. I like to think of it, a lot of books reference this about lack versus abundance. So when people say things like, I'm broke, I can't afford that, I don't have enough, blank, and it can be in relation to money, it can be in relation to other things, that comes from a lack mentality. Whereas abundance, you might be saying things like, oh, I'll find a way, we'll figure out how to afford it, we'll save. One of my favorite mantras that I was actually just talking to my sister about is money comes easily and frequently. So if you have blocks about money, you're not going to make money. If you don't think it's possible, then it's obviously not going to happen. So these are obviously kind of bigger picture things. When it comes to everyday choices for spending and our regular, budget, if you want to call it a budget, basically we just prioritize. So things that are not important to us, we're not going to spend money on. We don't care about getting new phones. We don't care about having, cable with DVR. There's a lot of things that we don't prioritize. The things that we do prioritize are travel, saving for retirement, and saving for our house was a big goal. Just generally saving to have a safety net is also always been a goal of mine, to just not be in debt. So some of the things that we would save, besides saving from our regular income, be anything that's considered like extra money. So if you get a rebate, even if you get a $5 rebate from back to school supplies at Staples or something at Home Depot, you get a rebate, that's kind of extra money. That's not income you were counting on. I like to look at that as extra money and just save it automatically. Whatever your savings goal is, just have an account separate for that. You could put the money in there, and then you're never going to think about spending it because that's your savings for whatever your goal is. So tax returns, that's a big one. A lot of times people get a good chunk, $500, maybe a couple $1,000s in tax return, and I've heard often people talking about, oh, when I get my tax return, I'm going to buy a new laptop, I'm going to buy a new phone. All these things they're already planning to spend that money on. When that money, granted with the tax return, that money did come originally from your income, but it's kind of bonus or extra money that maybe you weren't expecting until you started to prepare your taxes or had someone prepare your taxes. So every time we had a tax return, that went into the savings for home. That's literally what our savings account online was called, Savings for Home, because you could title it on. Back at the time it was ING Direct, now it's Capital One 360, but same thing. I think if you just prioritize, set your goals, and then make your decisions with intention. So when we moved into our new house, we intentionally did not get cable because we knew once we had cable, we're not going to want to get rid of it. Even if we didn't watch it, it's probably just going to be one of those things, oh, well, it's only 40 bucks a month, it's only, 50 bucks a month, no big deal. Recurring expenses are a big deal. Like, it's something I always want to think about before I add a new recurring monthly expense. What's the value of it? Is it something you actually want to prioritize? So if it is something, then great, spend the money. If it's something you're doing just out of habit, really start to consider those things and think with intention. Like, every time you go to Target, do you need to buy, I'm giving this example because I used to do it. Every time you go to Target, do you need to buy another candle? Do you need to buy something just because it's so cute and you want it in your house? I just have an intention now that if I don't really need it or want it that bad, I'd rather just save the money for our next vacation, for retirement, or whatever. So basically a lot of that is just about your priorities, your decisions, and what kind of mindset you want to use. If anyone has any specific questions, I love talking about this topic. I enjoy saving money. I remember on the Susie Orman show, she would say if people would just get as much pleasure about saving money as they get from spending money, then nobody would have issues with money, right? So maybe it doesn't sound exciting or sexy like saving money, but honestly, when you can make your goals, when you can go on that vacation or buy that house without a loan, or retire young when you know, or whenever you want to retire, I think that's pretty awesome. So something to think about. Comment below if you have any questions or any feedback on the video. And as always, be thrifty, be kind, and hug the ones you love. Thanks so much for watching.